So we were talking earlier about Facebook and the way that echo chamber type phenomena just built into algorithms can, let alone the social tribal type dynamics that are made easier, not in person, lead to echo chambers where people think that most everyone believes kind of the way they do because that's what they're seeing, except those bad guys over there that are far enough away that they only get the caricaturized version of them. And so, I still use Facebook, and I actually use it largely as a tool for understanding social phenomena. And so I've intentionally made friends with and followed people on every side of every political topic who are leading thinkers that other people pay attention to. And so, of course, I'll have a thread where there are some alt-right type people who are commenting, where then left people think that I have become a Nazi, or at least a Nazi supporter, and then decide to unfriend me. And of course, then more conservatively oriented people will see further left perspectives in my thread talking about LGBTQ rights or whatever it is, and think that I am a whatever pejorative, commie, etc. type thing that they think. And I'm just actively trying to see what the various groups in the world think. Because if I don't understand why it's compelling, like if I don't understand the partial truths and the values that they care about, I don't have a chance of understanding reality. And if I don't understand even beyond that why it's compelling, I don't have a chance of possibly engaging in a constructive or meaningful way. So all I can do is villainize them and engage in warfare. And then to various degrees win or lose, but to some degree all lose. And that's a very, very simple thing I would suggest everyone do. If you tend to be left-leaning and most of your friends kind of agree with you about climate change or abortion rights or whatever, I would actually really like you to follow Ben Shapiro, follow the Propertarian Institute, follow follow Heritage Foundation and Cato Institute and whatever, and actually seek to understand both where they're sharing things that you actually didn't know, and even where you really disagree, why it's compelling, with an answer that isn't just because they're all stupid. Because you actually don't have any chance of healing a culture war otherwise. You only have a chance of engaging in it. And if someone happens to be more right-oriented, and of course saying right-left is itself oversimplified, but we'll use that as a simplification for all of the perspectives that are engaged in some kind of warfare that actually need to be engaged in some kind of more generative dialectical conversation. Study intersectionality. Follow some of the thinkers that are actually giving arguments for and history for why some of that's important. Actually read some of the postmodern thinkers. Read Foucault and Derrida and whatever before just saying all postmodernism is stupid. And again, look to see, are there true insights and critiques in there? And can you factor them? Do you understand them? And even where you don't think they're true, can you see why they're compelling? And so that's a very, very easy step. So I'm speaking to why it's important because I think that we have more issues in the world today, from now weaponized drones actually available for sale, pre-made, and the nature of the environmental risks and the massive human migrations that are impending, and the culture wars, and the fact that the culture wars are oriented to a kind of war that is beyond just on Facebook. I think that we have more different issues on more fronts that are more consequential, with the answer not being everyone increasing the quality of their sense-making to find solutions that aren't war, because to find solutions that aren't war requires that they're solutions for everybody. There is a degenerate movement towards more groupthink that becomes more polarized, and that is a movement towards warfare in a time that is one that's never desirable, but it's especially not desirable with a world that has as centralized and fragile an infrastructure as ours, where people don't actually grow food and the populations of cities depend upon infrastructure that, if it failed, would totally suck, and where the weapons technology we have is unlike anything we've ever had. we can see that these types of patterns have happened in the past and led to war and resets. And I think that that's too costly to happen again. And so outside of everyone recognizing that and having that motivate their willingness to do something really uncomfortable, which is to be willing to disagree with the in-group that they're a part of, even where the in-group will use ostracizing and shaming as a way to hold them in line, and to really engage with other people and perspectives, and to not do the lazy thing of just defecting to the sense-making that someone else that you hold as legitimate authority gave you, but really engaging earnestly with all of the perspectives that you can to try to understand what makes sense, to then also understand what a way forward that doesn't look like war looks like. I don't think there are any good chances for the world unless a lot of people start doing that.